Hello and welcome to another episode of What We've Watched This Week.
It's a very charismatic opening.
I know, right?
I like it.
I'm getting better at this. I'm getting much better than this.
It's not hard, but
Here we go.
give the people what they want.
So today is my pick. Finally.
I know, and you've been like busting at the seams to talk about this one.
Oh, mate, I have.
So
I don't know if any of you guys guessed it, but it's a little show, little mini-series directed by Danny Boyle called Pistol.
real fan favourite of this channel, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Everything he does.
Everything he does.
gold.
Yeah, that is true.
You'll love it.
And my God, what a show it is.
Yeah.
What a show it is. Initial thoughts, I came out of it, like, do you know when something kind of like really like makes you think? Like really like changes your perspective
It's like
on a lot of things.
era defining as well.
Yeah, it's era defining.
It's
everything.
so of its time of the 70s. I love how the camera work works.
Oh, mate, massively. I mean, but let's get into a summary quick.
Give a brief outline for the audience.
So, Pistol is about the Sex Pistols, and it follows the guitarist Steve, and basically how he formed the Sex Pistols, all the, the ups and downs of them, how they created their songs, and then basically shows their downfall as well. It's only like about 6 episodes, I believe, but it's so...
All are very good.
Yeah. All of them, like, hit the mark completely. Like, they're very concise. Like, you can basically binge it in a day.
Yeah.
And
we did.
Yeah, we did.
We loved it.
We did.
But I think an important point is tell the audience why it's so needs to be watched. You know what I mean? Like how the impact the Sex Pistols had and why this series captures so well what they represented to the time.
I think if you're a British person, this really like resonates with you, especially if someone who grew up around the 70s, around the Sex Pistols era. And it's just, mate, everything about it is amazing. I just want to get into cinematography because obviously I'm a cameraman.
Yeah.
Like the way he shot it, it's very dreamlike. It like all the lighting is like very, very soft. It's harsh, but it's soft at the same time. It's like they used like a dream filter or like a very like pro mist filter on. And it just gives the idea of like very dreamy, so very, like optimistic in their like future.
I think the opposite, man. I think it was like slightly dark. The tone.
It shows the lighting wise, it shows very like optimistic and dreamy, which resonates with the main character because he is a massive dreamer. You can even see Steve at the very beginning where he like dances on like the David Bowie stage and steals the mic from David Bowie.
See, that was great because I think the setting contrasts with the cinematography. Yeah. The setting's like a very gloomy, like
very gloomy,
lower class, like dumpsters on fire kind of thing, man.
And that's the best thing about it because it does the dream sort of like optimistic feel as well as the gritty, dirty, grimy feel of what like Britain was going through at that time.
Gritty is a fantastic word to describe the first few episodes.
Because remember the streets, they're filled with like bins. Yeah. Everything is just total bins, like from like
a lot of respect's been put in to make sure it captures properly.
Yeah.
What each episode. Yeah. Because each episode covers really like a different time period in
the Sex Pistols. I mean, they were very short. I think they only went on for about a year and a half.
Say like you can split it up into like 3 parts. Right, the first 2 is basically like the formation of the band and very like lower class roots.
Yeah.
How like they're so downtrodden, these guys. Second half, like when they're like up and coming, everything seems a bit more optimistic. Like
optimistic.
You said, like color gradients and whatnot seems a bit lighter.
Yeah.
And then the end when you got like
the downfall.
Yeah, man.
The downfall. But my God, I love the characters as well. And Johnny Rotten steals the show. He generally steals the show.
Fantastic casting as well. Gets the mannerisms completely right.
It's just when he does that first audition and he's like 18. And he just sings it. He sings it perfectly as well.
I think the first 2 episodes really catches Steve as well because he is essentially the heart and soul of the series.
He is the main character, but
it shows him so well, like just lower class lad with no like facing jail time, with no like future and no like
and then Malcolm comes and saves him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Like everything about it. Like the thing is, like
how this guy Malcolm is like, was it a talent scout or the manager of the band?
Yeah, he officially like runs like a sex shop. And he does. He runs a sex shop, but he wants like a revolution. Like he wants to send a message out to England.
He wants to put his name to something big, doesn't he? He wants to be remembered.
And he sees Steve as his revolution. Like he's sort of like thing to go for.
Steve's whole attitude of like joyriding, gives no fucks, has no like terrible parental situation, wants to desperately to get away from life as it is and like find stardom.
He's a broken man. He's completely broken.
And Malcolm picks up on that and sees that this kid could like be the face of like a revolution.
But then he realises he's too broken.
Yeah, but that's a bit later.
Yeah, that's a bit later on.
But he gives Steve a electric guitar, that has like some meaning.
And he takes like drugs for like 7 days straight to like play guitar, and he actually ends up becoming quite good.
I like the characters a lot.
Mate,
obviously, you've got Johnny Rotten and Steve, like such a big contrast between the two.
I mean,
but even like the other ones, like what's the guy that dies at the end?
Oh, Sid.
Yeah, Sid. Sid's a great character. You've got
man.
Sid Vicious, yeah. Like,
he's the tragic. He's the tragic character of it. And in all fairness, like he's shown as like violent and everything like that. But if you actually like read between the lines, he starts the fights, but he never actually like.
He's very naive individual.
Yeah, he's very naive. He's
just been guided by the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly. And he always thought it was for the band, like. And then in the end, when he dies, and then like Johnny Rotten, he's so heartbroken over it. He's like,
quit, isn't it?
Yeah, I lost my friend.
I really liked what's the guy that ends up leaving? They have to cut him because they're going in a different direction. Yeah. About episode 4. Because he's like very Beatles influenced, and the manager knows that they have to go away from that.
Because he wrote Pretty Vacant.
Yeah.
And then like, can't be a punk band if you like the Beatles.
I think the accents are funny. Like the accents get it spot on.
Like everything about it, like you just love the whole British feel of it. It's so British. Like from like the way they talk, like the cinematography. It's even shot in like that 4:3 sort of like aspect ratio.
What's that mean?
It's kind of like when it's just a bit more narrower.
Yeah.
So it gives that sort of 70s feel of like when like you're watching on like an old TV
sense
show.
Of closeness and
and also like I love the music as well because it isn't just Sex Pistol music. You know, you get like, especially in like the first episode, there's loads of David Bowie because that was a massive influence.
As well, man.
Shows influence. So like, the influence is like it could be anything. Like David Bowie was like pop, and then they still took influence from him. Like even like the Beatles as well. You know, it's just everything about it. And the best thing about the show, in my opinion, is that it really captured the message of what the Sex Pistols really was. Anarchy, but. Also, like, a massive fuck you to everyone that wronged them.
Yeah. They're very strong in terms of like trying to portray that message.
They were angry. They were angry of everything. They were angry with the government. They were angry with, you know, the UK. They were angry about the situation.
Forgotten people.
The forgotten people.
Who have to live with like the problems that have been set up for them by the generation above them.
And you know what? The episode that captures that the best is episode 3, Bodies. Which is my favourite episode. Man. It's the one with the lady and she escapes out the mental thing after she got raped.
She's carrying around the dead baby.
Yeah, because she got raped by one of the
prison guards.
Prison
guards.
The war guys. And then she got an abortion, and then she's carrying the dead fetus in like her bag.
Yeah, and that's where the song comes in.
Yeah, Bodies.
Yeah, it's mad,
but
isn't it?
The song Bodies, even though it is like like very aggressive. It was still a homage to her. Like she was one of these people. She was forgotten. She was left on the side as trash. And everyone didn't take a second look at her. And then Johnny Rotten basically gave her the voice, gave her like a reason to be.
See, the thing that makes this series like so good is because it gives respect.
Yeah, it gives
respect.
Homage
perfect way. And even us who didn't grow up in that generation can kind of appreciate what it captures in the time and how it how the Sex Pistols were so big for so many people.
I know.
And they literally only had one album, right? And they still come across as like the biggest punk band in the world. They went global.
They're huge, man.
And the fact this series manages to capture that and give it back to an audience that didn't know about them before.
Man, it's
very, very well done.
The message of their music was captured perfectly in the film.
Yeah.
And that's where I think sort of like Bohemian Rhapsody fails. I don't think Bohemian... Don't get me wrong, it's a good film, amazing acting.
Didn't really get but it didn't capture that thing.
It didn't understand.
You know, when we say like capture something, that thing, right? It's not a thing that you can really explain or speak about. It's just like, if you watch it, you know that it got the impact.
Yeah, and also another one that didn't do it was Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Yeah, but I think films are different formats.
Yeah, different format.
You can't really get the
one which I did think actually did it kind of justice was like Straight Outta Compton. Because that actually did really capture the feel and the message of what their music was about.
But that's the whole selling point of a show like Pistols, isn't it? To capture that feel.
It's
not nostalgia, it's like... in a way it is.
It is a bit, but it's also like projecting what their message was. And you understanding... I mean, even like the schoolgirls that were bullied because, they were different. And then they listened to the Sex Pistols and they understood, they wanted they felt something.
It goes places. It goes very dark places, this series.
Yeah, man. It
really
does.
reflects the time period and how downtrodden these people were in that time.
Mate, just everything about it, man. I just love it.
It gives so much respect to the source material and the band.
Yeah, man.
And even like in the later episodes where things get very dark.
Oh, man.
You have like an abortion, you have the overdose, you have...
Sid and Nancy,
yeah,
man.
you got like, Sid's thing, tragic and big news at the time as well, because it was international.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even touched on Liv as well. The girl in it.
Oh, well, Steve's off. Yeah.
Liz Hurley. And then she becomes like the main singer of the Pretenders.
Yeah, that's the thing. All these bands sort of interknow each other as well,
and their relationship was really good in it as well. It was broken as well, just like how Steve was, but it was sweet at the same time, which really just captures his overall character.
If you could like sum it up in 2 words, like broken homage.
Yeah,
it just does it very well.
Just everything. Man.
Is there any weaknesses though? Because you know we have to ask this.
Yeah, I know, but
you can't think of any. You just came out of it thinking, I love that they respected it, and I loved what I watched.
It's just
a really well done series, and sometimes that's okay if there's no weaknesses.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Yeah,
I'm really struggling.
I watched it all. I had no background of the Sex Pistols or like you'd hear the music, but you had no idea how much they represented to a lot of people.
It represents so much to a lot of people. Like a lot of people can get behind this because a lot of people are in the situation what the Sex Pistols is now.
Yeah,
forgotten. Left behind by society
as well, man. So.
Giving them a voice. That is what this show just captures.
It's just an extremely well told 6-episode series that needs a lot of love.
It does need, and also I try and talk to the show to loads of my friends, and no one has ever heard of it, and I'm just like, oh my god. And also the weird thing, it's on Disney Plus. So if you got Disney Plus, give it a watch.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Also, it's directed by Danny Boyle. That's another big name.
Can't go wrong, man.
Yeah, but there's a lot of great moments in it. There's a lot of great characters. Again, because also everything there happened for real, it gives that bit more impact. Johnny Rotten steals it because he portrays him as insane and anarchy, but he's got a really sweet undertone to him. And that's what the whole sort of Sex Pistols was, because remember when right at the very end, where he's talking about, Sid and everything like that, he goes, I lost my best friend, all that sort of thing. And then he goes do you remember the time when we went to the kids show?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and then
that's
he goes,
right at the end as well.
Yeah, right at the end. He goes even throughout all their parties, their anarchy and everything like that, his favourite moment of that band is playing for the kids for the working
Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, Christmas working class party. Yeah. And then that was his favourite thing. He's putting his face in the cake and everything. It just shows a much more
makeup on.
Makeup.
Fun,
it just shows a much more different level to his character.
But that's the good part, right? And that's why the characters work so well, because
so well.
They're very multi-layered. They're naturally funny people.
Yeah.
So there's good comedic moments in it.
Yeah.
But they're also
all of them.
They're also run by emotions. Emotions completely govern these people, and they seem to do stuff on a whim that they shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
And they're very addictive.
Oh yeah,
they're hugely addictive people, and that's leads to their downfall. And everyone can see it a mile off. But
yeah, man,
these people were so broken before that even fame can't fix them.
Yeah, man, it's sad. And then
it's a story as old as time.
Yeah, man, that's what makes it so perfect, man.
And they all leave the series worse off situations.
Yeah, because Steve is now addicted to heroin.
Yeah, even though they had the money.
Dead. You know, Johnny kind of left and everything. Everything just got disbanded, and now they're kind of a relic of time.
There's a rise, and then there's a big fall down. I
always like a big rise and fall story as well. There's something that hits home about it.
It does it very well. These people end up leaving the situation just worse off.
Yeah, and
man. It's crazy, but it's
sad. It's
sad. It's
man.
real. It's real
sad. I just love the realness of it. I just love everything about it, man.
Yeah. So overall, what'd you rate it?
Oh, 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 10.
No question.
No question at all. Straight 10. I literally think everything about it, and also I do like the Sex Pistols a lot. They're one of my favourite.
Yeah.
Never mind the bollocks.
Hugely charismatic.
Yeah. Never mind the bollocks is actually, I think, probably my favourite album ever.
Oh, but the music's actually terrible.
Right, don't go there, man. It's not actually terrible.
It's okay.
It's great. It's great.
It's just screaming, but
Nah.
It's more the message that carries it rather than the music.
It's just angry, man.
Yeah.
People are angry. It's a voice.
Yeah, it's good.
And like the thing is, their music actually meant something.
Very loud and annoying voice, but still a voice. Still a voice.
Thing is, like, I just love it when music means something. I think that's the problem with today's music. Everything is just a trend.
There's no like
there is
longevity to it.
No.
It's not going to stand the test of time as much as the Sex Pistols.
You really think like all those like rap stars will stand the test of time?
Or even like the pop singers.
Or the pop singers.
They're all just terrible.
All they do is just talk about sex,
These
money,
guys,
and fame. You know, all right, let's take it back to like Elvis, Beatles, Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
You know, all of their music was written about, you know, like love, you know, loss, angriness, you know, like
and that's the things people connect to.
People connect to that, and then that then projects onto people, and that's why they love it. Today is just all about trends. You know, money, fame, sex, women. You know, it's just all that. Like nothing that won't stand the test of time. This will.
Yeah, it always helps if there's like a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
If there's some care and some love and some thought going into your product, which is what the Sex Pistols like. Did.
Yeah. You know,
that's why this series works. It just works on every level.
No, it works, and that's what the series captured the best. But anyway, that's it for today's one. As you can see, this one was a bit longer. Sorry. But there was a lot to talk about.
We're not. Great series.
Yeah, great series.
It needs to be watched.
I mean, do you want to give a rating on it? Because you have seen it?
Oh, you know what? 9.
9.
9.5. You can't fault it. It's very well done. Just across the board. Needs to be watched.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So
next week's my turn.
Yeah, next week's your turn. Okay, so for the camera, give us a little clue.
Yeah, it's a bit of an older film, about 2000s, but it's actually a comic book one.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of it.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel, I think.
Yeah, you should know.
I think it's Marvel. It is Marvel, isn't it?
I don't know. It's your pick. I don't know.
I know what it is, but I can't remember. Like, I know what I'm reviewing. I just don't know who done it. But yeah, that'll be next time. Next one's time.
Next one's. Okay, so that was what we've watched this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe.
And also just go out and watch the series.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Watch it, please. Anyways, catch you in the next one.